Just one Shabbos and we'll all be free. Just one Shabbos, come and join with me. Let's sing.
Welcome to Erev Shabbos Kodesh Parshas Noach and the Parsha ponderable for this week. We know that when Noach left the Teva after the flood, he was then allowed to eat meat, and that would apply to his successive generations as well. Rav Moshe grapples with the following question. An elderly parent, no longer able to care for himself, is now forced to live with one of his children. Although the parent was particular in the observance of kashrus, sadly his child is not. And Rav Moshe was asked the question as to whether or not the parent was allowed to rely on the child, even though the child was not observant. When the child would say to the parent that, listen, this is kosher meat that I bought specifically for you, and I cooked it in the kosher pots and pans that we have specifically for you, and you can eat it, is the parent allowed to rely on that which the child is telling him? So Rav Moshe paskins that although generally we look for observance as a sign of ne'emanus, here if the parent knows that the child would not deceive him, then the parent is allowed to rely on the child. What would happen though if that parent was an elderly parent who needed to eat meat in order to recover from illness? Perhaps the parent was weak and anemic and needed to eat the meat in order to strengthen himself. So under those circumstances, can we continue to apply the psak of Rav Moshe Feinstein, or perhaps might we be worried that this is a different situation completely? Im Yirtzeh Hashem, the answer next week. Shabbat Shalom.